Gavin Dalton here on behalf of Her Sport. I'm delighted to be joined today by Irish hockey international goalkeeper Grace O'Flanagan. Grace, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks very much for having me. Delighted to be here.
And we're here today to talk about Saturday's Pieta Darkness Into Light, which is currently supported by Electric Ireland. And Grace, you're an ambassador this year. Just a couple of days out now. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's really exciting now. Looking forward to Saturday morning. I'm thrilled to be a part of Darkness Into Light. I've taken part before, and it's just great to be an ambassador to help encourage people to sign up to Pieta's Darkness Into Light. I think Saturday morning is going to hopefully be a record morning again. Last year people weren't able to gather together like they used to for this event, and it'll be the same again this year. But I think it's really positive to see everybody coming together. When you see it on social media, all the people all over the world that get up at the crack of dawn to see the sunrise and to share support for those that are struggling, and those who are suffering from mental health problems, people who've been affected by suicide, and people just pulling together to raise funds to help end suicide. It's a really positive event.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And you, as we said, you're one of the ambassadors this year. And for the Sunrise Notes section, it's a new idea in for this year, obviously, because we can't gather like we used to at the different points. Would you like to just give a brief explanation of what exactly the Sunrise Notes initiative is?
Yeah, I suppose what we're encouraging people to do is to share a note of hope, because while we can't gather together, we want to share these messages of support, messages of hope that things will be brighter again. It's been a very difficult year for people all over, and what we're really trying to do is just get people to share their experiences, get people to share their support, and you learn a lot from others, but there's just great strength in that unity when we all come together and share that hope together.
Yeah. And for you personally, Grace, we saw Mar Shannon spoke last week, the Waterford hurler. He told his story about how he went through some dark days, and around 2014 he was in his darkest days, and he reached out to friends and family and teammates, and they helped him come through what were some tough times to get onto a better track. What about you? What would you like to just give an explanation of what your personal experience is and why you're on board this year?
Yeah, I suppose I have a somewhat unique experience with mental health in my medical education, qualifying as a doctor, and in being an elite athlete. It's a huge part of every day for me. I pay close attention to my mental health. I look after it just as much as my physical health and my body, and that's important for me for my performance. It's important for me for my job, and I've also had insight into how dark things can go, again through my job, seeing people in crisis. And I just think that it's sad that all of us, or most of us, will know somebody who suffers with mental health problems. Most of us know somebody who's been affected by suicide. So I think it's important that we come together and we show support, and we say, we're here to help, we're here to talk to you, but also we're standing up, and we're standing up to end suicide. One person lost is one too many, and sadly there's still too many people lost every year. So I think it's important to get behind it and to speak out and end the stigma against kind of mental health problems, and to realize that it's common that people feel low. And especially as an athlete, I've had my down days, and sometimes you can pull yourself out of it, and sometimes you need help. And I think it's important that we share that message.
Yeah. And Grace, it's fair to say the last 12, 13 months they've been hugely challenging for a lot of people. Do you think this has added an added significance to this year's event?
It definitely has. I suppose the last year or so has been a roller coaster, probably for most people. COVID has definitely added extra challenges in that people have this extra worry. There's a lot of isolation out there as well. So I think it does put a strain on people, even in the best of their health. And for me personally, and with my teammates looking towards the Olympics and the European Championships, there has been a lot of uncertainty, and there has been difficult times, and it's in pulling together where we find our strength, and coming together, and acknowledging that, and speaking to each other and working through it together as a team has been important.
Yeah. And you touched on sport there, how important it is. How important is sport as an outlet for people who are going through a tough time?
I think it's huge, and I've been very fortunate to have been able to be training over the past while and to be able to see my teammates, and that's not at all lost me. I think I'm so grateful that I've had that, and I think that's been very difficult for people who haven't been able to play their team sports, who haven't been able to go to gyms over the last while, which might normally be a release for people. I think it's really positive to see that things are opening up again now. People can get out and do that, and that's really important. We're seeing people are doing home workouts and online Zooms and different classes and just connecting with people, which is great because it's important for physical health, but it's so important for the mental health. Helps you switch off, gets those good endorphins going, and I just think that's always a good thing. It's really helpful, and it's just great that it brings people together. Sport, whether it's watching it or playing it, it brings people together. So it's exciting that things are starting to open up again, and we have some exciting events coming up.
Yeah, we sure do. Especially Tokyo, it's just around the corner. How are preparations going? What are the expectations within the squad?
Yeah, preparations are going well. It's great. We've been able to play Great Britain now the last number of times, which is our first kind of international match experience since the qualifiers. And that's huge because we've been lacking that over the last year, like so many nations. Our heads are down. We're working hard. We're training for the Europeans first and then the Olympics. I think things are going well. Obviously, we had a World Cup silver medal in 2018, which was an unbelievable achievement. We're definitely targeting a quarterfinals in this, but I think it's every athlete's dream to medal in Olympics. So why not?
Yeah, for sure. And for you personally, you're competing with Aisha McFerrin for the goalkeeper spot. What has the competition been like between the two of you?
Yeah, it's always tough as goalkeepers. There's so few of us for just that one or two spots. Myself, Lizzie Murphy, and Aisha McFerrin we're good friends. But it's tight competition. The both of them are brilliant goalkeepers, and that's a great kind of environment to be in. We push each other on, and I think it's going to be tough. Obviously, there's huge strength though in whichever two goalkeepers are selected and whichever one competes in Tokyo. I think we're going to be in a good position because we've all been working hard and we're pushing each other on every day.
100%. That wraps it up for today, Grace. I'd just like to thank you for coming on and wish you the best of luck with Tokyo.
Thanks.
And Saturday morning. Let's hope for a great turnout. And have you any final message for people ahead of Saturday?
I just encourage everybody to sign up for Darkness Into Light, support Pieta House, and get out and share the sunrise together.